So far, we have already discussed about the D'Alembert's principle. Now, by using D'Alembert's principle, we will derive Lagrange's equation of motion. So, the statement of D'Alembert's principle was the sum of differences between the forces acting on a system and time derivatives of momenta of the system itself along any virtual displacement consistent with the constraint of system which is equal to 0. So according to this statement we got equation number 12 which was the summation over I fi bar minus pi dot bar and dotted with delta ri bar which is virtual displacement. This was equal to 0. Now I can rearrange this equation as here we will multiply, we will solve this bracket, we will get summation over I f of I bar dot delta ri bar minus summation over I p bar pi dot bar dot delta ri bar. This will be equal to 0. Now we can rearrange this equation in such a way that we will take this negative term on RHS. So we will get summation over I fi bar dot delta ri bar. This will be equal to summation over I pi dot bar dot delta ri bar. Let's say this as equation 13. Now we will derive this both LHS and RHS. So we will get after this derivation we will get Lagrange's equation of motion. So for this we must transform the D'Alembert's expression into the expansion which contain the virtual displacement in terms of generalized coordinate which we have used the symbol Qij so that the coefficient of this Qij can be separately equal to 0. For this we will use the transformation equation from Ri bar to Qj as we have discussed in our second lecture. So this transformation equation from Ri bar to Qj is given as Ri bar equals to Ri which will be function of generalized coordinate Q1, Q2, Q3 up to Qn and as well as time. So this n is nothing but 3n minus k and I will range from 1 to n. This n denotes number of particles. So here we have already discussed this transformation equation in lecture number 2. So now the infinitesimally small virtual displacement at any instant time t, it can be written as, now this is the displacement. Now if we have to convert it into infinitesimally small displacement, that is delta Ri. So we can write this as, now you have to keep it in mind, R will be function of generalized coordinates Qj as well as time. So to write the infinitesimal displacement, we will need to take its derivative, that is delta Ri bar. Now this can be written as, we have to take derivative of this dou Ri bar. Now this is function of Q1, Q2 up to Qn as well as t. So its total derivative will be delta Ri bar upon first is Q1. So dou Ri bar upon dou Q1 into delta Q1. This is total derivative with respect to first coordinate. Plus now for second coordinate we have to write it as dou Ri bar upon dou Q2 into delta Q2 and so on up to this derivative will run up to this part, that is Qn So here I can take this derivative as dou Ri bar upon dou Qn into delta Qn. And when we will take derivative of this delta R with respect to time t, there will term come which will get add over here, which will be dou Ri upon dou t. We are going to do that step also. So this summation in general, in short, we can write it by using the mathematical term which is given by summation. So this addition, in short, instead of writing this long equation, in short we will write it as summation over j run from 1 to this n, right? Because derivative are up to n. So j will run from 1 to n, and that summation will be over dou Ri bar. Now here upon this will be dou Qj bar into delta Qj. So in short, this equation is written in the form of summation. Let's say this as equation number 15. Now you have to keep it in mind always that there is no variation in time delta t involved in equation 15. Therefore, there is no derivative term of this r with respect to time, since virtual displacement is held when time is constant. Means virtual displacement is performed when we kept time constant, that we have already discussed in principle of virtual work. So here, since time was held constant to perform this virtual displacement, there will be no derivative term with respect to time, even though r is function of t. So you have to keep this point in mind during taking the virtual displacement. Now we will find velocity of a ith particle of a system, which will be given by, let's say it is denoted by Vi bar. So this can be calculated by taking derivative of this virtual displacement with respect to time, and it will be denoted by r dot bar. So if you have to calculate the derivative of r bar with respect to time, then you have to keep this equation in mind. So during this calculation, we will use the equation number 15 or the equation above the equation number 15. We will take help of that equation. So if we are finding velocity Vi bar, this will be equal to Ri dot bar, and this will be equal to, now you have to take derivative of each term with respect to time, as well as there will be one more term will get added into this, since this r will be now function of time. So this velocity is taken as dou Ri bar upon dou Q1 into dQ1 upon dt plus dou Ri bar upon dou Q2 dQ2 upon dt plus up to this nth term, that is dou Ri bar upon dou Qn into dQn upon dt, and then one more term will be added since r is function of now time. So dou Ri upon dou t is new additional term, and I have already explained why this term not come in equation 15. So this will be the equation for velocity, to calculate velocity of ith particle. Now again we can write this equation also in short by using the mathematical term which is known as summation. So by using that, we can write this as V I bar will be equals to, now here we will take again, I will just keep this term as it is and I will write summation for this as we have wrote for equation 15. So this will be summation over j, it will run from again 1 to n and it will be derivative of this in general for n number of terms, that is dou ri bar upon dou q. Now here we will have j into dqj upon dt and this term will remain as it is, that is dou ri bar upon dou t. Let's say this as equation number 16. Now here this term can be in short written as qj dot. So I will put it as qj dot, then I will call that equation as equation number 16. So we will get Vi bar equals to this as it is, summation over j running from 1 to n dou ri bar upon dou qj into, now here we will write qj dot plus dou ri bar upon dou t and I will say this as equation 16, where this term is nothing but generalized velocity. Now for this term here I will use equation number 15 in this, which gives me delta ri bar and which is in this form. So instead of this delta ri bar I can substitute this whole term. So I will substitute this term over here. What we will get? We will get summation over I fi bar, now dotted with delta ri which is in the form of summation over j. We can skip this, we can keep this in mind, so it is not necessary to write this as it running from 1 to n. So this summation j is of dou ri bar upon dou qj into delta qj. So we use equation number 15 over here. Now here also I will run from 1, 2, 3 up to capital N and this j will run from 1 to 3n minus k, that is small n, which is 3n minus k. Now here if I rearrange this equation so that I will take summation j outside, since here there is the term which includes suffix I, so I have to take first summation over I and then I will take summation over j. So I can write here first summation j will be outside and inside there will be, first we will took summation over I of fi bar dot dou ri bar upon dou qj into, this will be multiplied by dou qj. So this summation will be further and this summation is taken first. So here this bracket is defined as qj, capital Qj, where this capital Qj is known as generalized force. So instead of this I can put capital Qj. What we will get? Summation over I fi bar dot with delta ri bar. This will be equals to summation over j of capital Qj into delta Qj. Let's say this as equation 17. So in this equation it is obvious that this generalized coordinate Qj need not have the dimension of length. It can be theta, phi, any term. This we have already discussed. Therefore, similar to this capital Qj also should not be have the dimension of force, but the product of these two will always have the dimension of work which is necessary, because this is equal to the work done. Therefore, this product must have the dimensions of work. So keep it in mind. Now we know that momentum of any particle is given by m into v, that is v is written as r dot. So momentum of ith particle I can write as pi bar is equals to mi into ri dot bar. So this is definition of momentum. Now if I took derivative of momentum, I will get pi dot bar will be equals to mass will be constant, and we will have double derivative of r, which is nothing but r double dot I bar. Now here if we took its product, dot product with delta ri, and we took summation over I, means if I write summation over I pi dot bar dotted with delta ri bar, this will be equal to again summation over I, this mi ri double dot, this will be dotted with delta ri bar. So this is the one term from equation 13, and this is another term from equation 13, and equation 13 tells us these both are equal. So now we will find this term. So we will use equation 15 in this equation. So again equation 15 was this one. This is value of equation 15. Now we will again put value of delta ri in this equation. What we will get? Let me write, put equation 15 in this equation. What we will get? We will get summation over I pi dot bar dotted with delta ri bar. This will be equal to, now instead of this delta ri bar, I can put this whole term, so that we will get here summation over I mi ri double dot bar into dotted with summation over j, this dou ri bar upon dou qj into delta qj. So here now again this both summation I can write collectively. So in short we will get summation over I pi dot bar dot delta ri bar equals to summation over I and j I have written commonly. Now what are remaining terms? mi ri double dot bar, and this is dotted with dou ri bar upon dou qj into delta qj. Let me call this as equation 18. Now here we will consider one term. We will consider this equation d by dt of this term. So if we took derivative of this term, we have to use here product rule, that is UV rule for derivative, which is we will keep first one function constant, taking derivative of other, plus take derivative of second function and keep first function constant. So according to this, first I will take derivative of u, that is d by dt of mi ri dot bar. I will keep this constant dou ri bar upon dou qj, plus now we will keep u constant, that is mi ri dot bar, and we will take derivative of this, that is d by dt of dou ri bar upon dou qj. So now in this equation, if we took derivative of this, m will be constant, derivative of r dot I will be ri double dot, and here this derivative we are going to calculate separately. So I will take this derivative and let me write it on new page. Now in this equation I will keep this term as it is and I will take this second term on LHS. So I will get, first I will write this term mi ri double dot bar dou ri bar, this is dot product with this dou ri bar upon dou qj. This will be equal to this d by dt of mi ri dot bar dotted with dou ri bar upon dou qj minus this term, that is mi ri dot bar d by dt of dou ri bar upon dou qj. Let's call this as equation 19. Now again we will consider one more term. We will consider this term. So in this term we can say that r is function of both q and t. So I can exchange this derivative. Therefore I can write, I will take this derivative outside and first I will take derivative of r with respect to time. This is possible because r is function of these both variables. So here this derivative is nothing but velocity and in short we will write it as r dot. So r dot bar I upon dou qj, this remaining derivative, and this is nothing but our r dot bar. So let's say this as equation 20. Now we will differentiate equation 16 with respect to qj dot. So this is our equation 16. This was equation 16. I have written it again. Now we have to differentiate this with respect to qj dot. So if we differentiate dou vi bar upon dou qj dot, if you observe here in this term there is no qj, so this derivative of this term will be 0, and in this term here there is qj, so derivative of qj dot with respect to qj dot will be 1, and the remaining term which is constant with respect to qj dot, it will come as it is, that is summation over j running from 1 to n dou ri bar upon dou qj, and this derivative is 1. Let's say this as equation 21, or I can also write this v as ri dot bar, right? So velocity is written as dou ri bar dot upon dou qj dot, and this is equals to, now here I have to tell you one thing, summation will be vanish over here, so there will be no summation. For taking derivative of any equation which contains sum, means you are taking derivative with respect to particular variable, only one variable, right? Here derivative is with respect to only qj dot. So here if you have the equation in the form of sum, and when you took derivative of that equation with respect to particular variable, summation goes off. For example, I will explain you. Suppose we have xy plus 2x, okay, and we are differentiating this equation with respect to y. We have f as this equation. So if I took dou f upon dou y, see here there is no y, this derivative will be 0, and here derivative of xy will be x. So summation is gone. So this is property of derivative of any function which is in the form of summation. Therefore we will not write here summation. So here we will get dou ri bar upon dou qj. Let's call this as equation 22. Now we will use equation 20 and equation 22 in equation 18. First we will substitute equation number 20 and 22 in equation 19. So this is our equation 19, that is mi ri double dot bar dotted with dou ri bar upon dou qj. This will be equal to d by dt. Now here instead of this dou ri upon dou qj, we will use this term, and again instead of this term we will use this value. So we will get here, instead of this term I have substituted this value, and instead of this whole term we have substituted again dou Ri upon dou Qj, that is this value. So this value. So we got this equation. Now here this equation I can rearrange as, if I took here this term, if we observe this term, I can rearrange this derivative in the form of, instead of this term I can write this term as dou by dou Qj dot this derivative of half mi Ri dot bar square. If there is square, bar will be gone. So this derivative will give us this step. Means I have written reverse step of this. I have wrote this term in the form of derivative of half mv square, because I have to further replace this as a kinetic energy. That's why I am writing. Similarly, I can also do this for this term also. How? We can write here minus dou by dou Qj I have taken outside. So here I can write half mi Ri dot square. So if you calculate this derivative, you will get this term. So we replace this both term in the form of half mv square or half m Ri dot square. That is, I have to write further this as kinetic energy. That's why I have replaced this in the form of derivative of kinetic energy. Now we will put equation 23 in equation 18. So I have already written equation 18 on same page. We will need this. That's why I have wrote it over here. So we will put the value of 23 in 18. That is, instead of this term, we will substitute this whole term. That is, we will get this LHS as it is. I will write again summation separately, summation I, summation j, and instead of this whole term we will put this whole equation, that is d by dt of dou upon dou Qj dot of half mi Ri dot square minus, let me take here other bracket, so minus this term dou by dou Qj of this half mi Ri dot square, and bracket completed. Now here I can again rearrange this as, what we will do, we will keep summation j outside and we will write I inside, because first we have to take this derivative. Therefore we will need first summation I, and after calculating this derivative we will need summation j. So I will rearrange this summation. Here after this substitution, this delta Qj was remaining, so that is correction, that is delta Qj. So this will come over here again. I have just rearranged the summation. So here what I did, I have to take here summation, I forgot it. So I have taken summation I inside the bracket, because there are first the terms which include I. So I have taken summation over I inside, and after that there is the variable which is depend on j. So summation j I have written outside. So this is the modification. I will call this as equation number 24. Now we will identify this term as I have told you, these terms are nothing but kinetic energy. So kinetic energy denoted by T. Therefore instead of this summation we will write it as total kinetic energy. Instead of this whole term, I will just write it as T, because this is nothing but half mv square and its summation is nothing but kinetic energy. Therefore, I will get summation over I pi dot dotted with delta Ri bar equals to summation over J. Now here we will get d by dt as it is into this will be remain again same. Here this is this is partial derivative. So here dou upon dou qj dot of this kinetic energy, that is T. And in next term also, instead of this whole bracket, we will put it as T, that is dou by dou qj of T, and that delta qj as it is. So let's say this as equation 25. Now we will use equation 17 and 25 in equation 13. So put equation 17 and 25 in equation 13. So our equation 17 was this. Keep this in mind. So we will put this equation 17 and this equation number 25 in equation number 13, and I will write the final step so that we will get. Therefore, we got this step. This is simple step. If you put 17 and 25 in 13, we will get this equation. Please check this and do yourself. I have directly written easy step. It is an easy step. Now here I will rearrange this equation as what I will do. I will take this summation term on RHS and I will write this equation equal to 0. So in that form, if we wrote this equation, we can take this summation j common to outside and I can write these two terms minus this qj and I will take delta qj common, so that I will get d by dt of this dou t upon dou qj dot minus dou t upon dou qj minus this capital qj, and this delta qj is taken common and this is written equal to 0. Let's say this is equation number 26. Now any virtual displacement delta qj is independent of delta qk, that is other variables. So therefore these coefficients, we can vanish these coefficients. So if we vanish this and took on RHS, we will get d by dt of dou t upon dou qj dot minus dou t upon dou qj minus capital Qj equal to 0. Since this delta qj can be vanished since it is independent of delta qk, that is other coefficient of q. So here now if we took this term on RHS, we will get d by dt of dou t upon dou qj dot minus dou t upon dou qj equals to capital Qj. Now let's say this as equation 27, and here there are n number of such equations since we have j ranging from 1 to n. So we will get n number of such equations and these are known as a Lagrange's equation. So this equation is known as the Lagrange's equation. Now we will get n such equations and these are known as the Lagrange's equation, and these equations are valid for any type of force, means either your force is conservative or non-conservative, this equation is valid. So now if I consider a special case that if the holonomic system is conservative, means if I have taken this generalized force Qj as a conservative force, then we have the property of conservative force. So that property is this: if force is conservative, that force can be taken as negative gradient of its potential energy, that is minus dou V, this is capital V, don't get confused in velocity and potential. So negative gradient of potential, that is minus dou V upon dou Qj. If this I call equation 28, where this V is what now? Potential energy. So by using this property of conservative force, which is expressed as negative gradient of potential energy in equation number 27, we will put this in 27, we will get d by dt of dou t upon dou Qj dot minus dou t upon dou Qj equals to minus dou V upon dou Qj. And if we took this term on LHS, I can write d by dt of dou t upon dou Qj dot minus. Now this will become plus, but I am taking negative sign outside and I am writing this in the form of dou Qj of t minus v. So that if we took this minus here, this will become plus and this will be equal to 0. Let's say 29. Now here, since this potential energy V is always independent of this Qj dot, since V is independent of Qj dot, I can subtract this V from this T also, because here you might have the doubt why just I subtract it from this term. We can subtract it from this term also, since it is not function of this Qj dot. V depends only on Qj, not Qj dot. So I can subtract this from this T also. So I will get d by dt of dou upon dou Qj dot of T minus this V, which is a potential, minus dou upon dou Qj, again T minus V, and this will be equal to 0. Let's say equation 30. Now here we will take T minus V as a L. So instead of this term, I can write capital L. I will define L as T minus V, so that we will get here the equation that I am going to write on next page. So that we got this equation, which will be called as 31, which is d by dt of dou L upon dou Qj dot minus dou L upon dou Qj, where we substitute instead of T minus V capital L in our previous equation, which is equation number 30. So this equation 31 is also called as Lagrange's equation of motion, and that L, that is T minus V, this is called as a Lagrangian. So equation 31, this equation is known as now Lagrange's equation of motion, and L equal to T minus V is known as Lagrangian. Now in this equation, this T depends on generalized velocity, since T is what? Kinetic energy, that is half mv square. So this T depends on generalized velocity and V will be depend on generalized position. Therefore, this L will be also function of generalized positions and velocity, since L is given by T minus V. That means I can write L as a function of generalized positions, which are Q1, Q2 up to Qn, and generalized velocities, which are given by Q1 dot, Q2 dot up to Qn dot. So L is function of both generalized positions and velocity, and it is appropriate to write this as a function of T, since here there is a term which depend on velocity. Therefore, I can write Lagrangian as a function of Qj, that is positions, Qj dots, that is velocities, and time t. So Lagrangian will be function of positions, velocities, as well as the time, and this j range from 1 to n, that you know. So the Lagrangian will be function of generalized positions, generalized velocities as well as time. So this is the derivation to find Lagrange's equation of motion using D'Alembert's principle.